Welcome to T11. Good to have you here. It is a Monday. It is Eclipse Monday. I recorded this just a few hours after the eclipse. Not even a few hours. That happened maybe 2 hours ago. I didn't see it here in Seattle. I'm not in the path of totality. God, that sounds cool. The path of totality. I know that a lot of my friends and everybody saw it in Dallas. If you're one of those people that saw it, I hope you were able to witness something amazing. I know a lot of people find that stuff spiritual. Me, I just find it kind of cool. I'm kind of freaked out when it comes to the enormity of how this universe truly is and how it works. And I have been spending my life trying to figure it out, which is pretty strange because I know I'll never figure it out. There's none of that. But I was amused by a lot of the, conspiracy theories that are out there that was supposed to happen when it went down. I checked on the news right away. I didn't see any black hole. I didn't see war happening. Apparently NASA shot some things into space at that time that nobody could see. And what is it about how weak-minded some people truly are? They call themselves free thinkers. They're the furthest thing from it. You hear and read something crazy online, and then they call you a free thinker to compliment you and to make you believe that you're smarter than you truly are. But that's not what this show is all about. Like I said, some people find this whole thing spiritual. And started me thinking today about how I've been working so long, and anybody who's listened to this podcast or me for a long time knows that I've been struggling and searching for something to hang on to, some sort of spiritual belief. I know the in thing now is to be an atheist. I don't think that works for me. That doesn't go with my positive nature. It doesn't go with that. But I do have very weak moments where I'm negative. I'm a hypochondriac from time to time. In fact, right now I'm going through a hypochondriacal moment. But that's not what I want to talk about. It's just, I'm always looking for some sort of, there's nothing wrong with having something to believe in, something to have hope in. There's something to find inspiration from. To me, that's all it really is. So I started thinking I might have to go old school on my spiritual beliefs. Why do I have to pick one? Why do I have to pick one religion or something like that? I've always believed in the do unto others thing. I think that's a really cool sentiment to kind of live by. But there's so many other things to live by that didn't come out of the Bible, that came from free thinkers back when they were real free thinkers, not now. I'll explain that here in a second. I'm not going to leave you hanging on that one. I have a reason for saying this. But it is nice to have hope. And I don't want to have to pick one, I've decided. So I'm going to go old school, like I just said. These modern day prophets. Okay, let's get into what I was just talking about. These modern day prophets suck. Okay, the conspiracy theory, the this, the that, the online stuff. Anything at any moment for any reason can go viral online. You see it happening with all of these self-help gurus that I've been following, and all the people that have kind of turned me off the self-help industry. All they're doing is trying to go viral. All they're doing is trying to be seen. All they're doing is trying to get likes. All they're doing is trying to be better than the other self-help guru. And that's not spiritual to me at all. It's sad. It's pathetic. And you could see them a mile away. So I'm going to kick all these modern day prophets to the curb. There's nobody in today's day and age. Let's go ahead and put a little time frame on it. There's nobody before the internet that I believe holds any value whatsoever to me as somebody who's seeking some sort of belief and some sort of spirituality. And the reason why I believe this, the old school thinkers, I don't want to call them free thinkers. Let's just wipe that out of there. The old school thinkers, they had to have charisma. They didn't need to know an algorithm. They had to have something about them. They had to walk the walk. They had to be that person to everybody they saw. Nowadays, you could front. You could say I'm this, and people will say, "Look at it. Just go on Instagram or Twitter, whatever you call it nowadays, and look at people's bios. I'm this, I'm that, and people believe it. I'm a, I love it when I see I'm a social media expert, and you have 12 followers. You're not an expert, okay? But some people go, they're an expert. It says right there, they're an expert. No, these old school thinkers, they had to live it. They had to be it. They lived what they were talking about, whether you agreed with it or not. They lived the whole thing. They had conviction. Man, and it all spread by word of mouth. You hear so and so over there, man. He was talking the other day, and he really made some sense to me. And he lived it. People saw him all the time. They didn't hide behind a keyboard and post some cool stuff with stars behind them. They didn't do anything like that. So that's why I believe I need to go old school again. So maybe now, I haven't 100% decided this, but maybe now when I have a question or a concern or something that's scaring me or just looking for a message, I might look it up. I might look up what I have on my mind and maybe Jesus, who knows, maybe just to throw a name out there, maybe Jesus had something to say about what I'm holding close to my heart as a source of inspiration or guidance or comfort for me. Maybe I'll just look into the old school people and see what Buddha had to say, Check out some of these other prophets out there, and even the names people that aren't necessarily big old prophets, but these thinkers, like, I don't even know if you could say it right. Rumi. I don't know what it is, but I find a lot of these quotes that this guy was 1 billion years ago. And a lot of his thoughts and beliefs really hold to today. He probably changed the course of this world, this guy did, on some of these things. Because these were so old, these things. There's another guy I find interesting out there. I don't believe in necessarily everything he says, but I think his name's Carl Jung. This guy, every once in a while, I pick up something out of nowhere, and his name keeps popping up to me when I'm having these things. So yeah, maybe old school is the way it is. All these people, I do not want to hold up on a pedestal, though, and this is going to be upsetting to some of you. I don't want to hold Jesus up on a pedestal. I would have liked to known that dude. That's for sure. But I don't want to hold anybody up on this pedestal because to me, all of those people I mentioned and many, 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 many more, all of them had a few things in common. They were all on a spiritual path. They all had questions they wanted to answer. They believed that nobody was better than them. So why should I put somebody up on a pedestal who doesn't believe that they are better than anyone else? Why would you do that? I don't understand that at all. They all found some peace somewhere in their lives. They all found some answers somewhere in their lives. But you know what? They also made some bad choices, I'm sure. They also screwed up. I'm completely positive of it. They made some bad mistakes. But what always held consistent through these people, and what I want consistency in my life, is that I'm always headed toward something. Sometimes I'll have a setback. Sometimes I'll have to make a detour to figure a few things out. Sometimes I'll pause. I'll have to pause for a day or two or a year or two, or in this case right now for me, I don't know, maybe about 10 years. Maybe about 10 years it's been that I've put my pause on spirituality. I've tried to find it in meditation, which I have. But, there's a lot of different things about meditation, too, that are a little weird to me. But all of these people, they all were searching for some sort of enlightenment, and they've had their enlightenment moments. I have said some things to people, so have you, that have made complete sense to them. And you see the light going off in there. I was like, oh, yeah. And that might have helped somebody out tremendously. So I think they also just had these answers or questions that, like I was talking about at the start of the podcast, where they're just holding these questions and these thoughts and everything to their heart. And they had to believe that there's something bigger out there in this universe that might be guiding us. And I know that my buddy Michael Pace and I, who's done this podcast before, and he's a very interesting guy. In many ways, we are a lot alike. In some ways, we are very different. Like, he's a good comedian. But, you know, he and I have these conversations. And I think that maybe he and I should, I'm going to talk to him about this. Maybe he and I should explore this a little deeper and maybe come, if he's interested in it. I don't even know if he's interested in it, but we've had these exact conversations. So I don't know why he wouldn't be interested in it. But it's good to have a friend like that you can talk to, you know? That's another thing about friends that a lot of people don't realize. Friendship is a choice. It's an absolute choice to hang out and be around somebody. And depending on what you need at the time, some people just want somebody to go cut up some jokes and have a good laugh and pull my finger fart jokes and have a couple beers with. There's nothing wrong with that at all, but it's an absolute choice of who you decide you want to hang out with. I personally liked hanging out with people that have these conversations. Don't get me wrong. We don't sit around and light a candle and go, gammy, time to talk about this. And we don't think that we're these deep school thought people or anything like that. But we have questions, we have concerns, and we have an open discussion about, hey, here's what worked for me. Here's what I heard so-and-so say. Here's this, that, and the other thing. There's nothing wrong with that. So absolutely, friendships are an absolute choice where other relationships, just think about it, aren't. I think friendships are the only thing that's a choice when relationships with other people are out there. You don't choose your mom and dad. You don't choose your family members. You know, oftentimes you don't choose your coworkers. You don't choose your neighbors. You move into a place because you have a job or whatever it is, or you find a place you like. You don't choose your neighbors. There's a lot of drama that comes with that. There should be zero drama when it comes to your friends. At least for me. I don't like the drama. I don't mind helping each other out with a problem or a situation, but when it's constant drama or woe was me bull crap, I'm out. But friends, and choosing your friends like that, hell yeah, I'm in all day long. I mean, you guys are friends right here. If you're listening to this right now, hello, friend. And I'm not saying that to be some sort of snarky guy to try to paint some rosier picture than really is out there. No, you made a choice to listen to this. We are friends. You know, people who've listened to me for years have come up to me at appearances or out on the street or whatever. And they come up to me like we are long lost friends, like we've known each other for years. And at first, I got to be honest, it kind of creeped me out. That person knows too much about me. That person knows this and that. You know, at first, it really kind of creeped me out. But that's normal for them. That's normal for them because they're friendly with me. And it took me a long time to figure that shit out. A long time. Took me years to figure that out. But I believe as friends, I have finally now catching up to you. I'm finally now reaching your level of friendship where I now know why we are friends. I get it, but it took me a long time to catch up to that. So I just want to thank you. Let me just start this week off, this first show of the week off with that. I just want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of my life. I'm glad that I'm somewhat of hopefully a nice, good part of your life, something you look forward to listening to. And I hope that you turn your other real friends onto this. You know, we could build a big group of good people over here. So thanks so much for being here, and I really do appreciate you. I hope you didn't look up into the sun and burn your eyeballs out, because that would suck. Other than that, I hope you have a great week. I obviously plan on doing a show later on this week, another one. I got a gang of two tomorrow with Sherry. Got Lex and Terry all week. So, guys, Have a great day. Really do appreciate you. Thanks.